Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favor. And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay, if it's presented to her as it should be.
Ну, здравствуй, дружок, ты на канале Донышки Пироти, и мы продолжаем играть в Игру Престолов от Telltale Games. Сейчас мы играем за сестру Гаррета. Фу, блин, не за сестру Гаррета, а за сестру Итана. Тоже Форестер, которая, вот. Вот. И посмотрим, она сейчас в замке... Ой, забываю всегда город, я совсем недавно начал смотреть сериал, так что как-то так. Давайте посмотрим, что там в сундуках. Она, как тут уже сказали, она служанка. И что-то тут разведывает. Так. Первый крик для... Ага. Итан сделал это для меня. Что ты грустишь, дорогуша? Кто тебя обидел? Еще мы найдем эту падущую, мы его всечем там.
Lady Marjorie.
Она что, не... их как бы... Она бастард?
Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos.
Так, теперь... Так, посмотрим, что это вообще. Читать.
Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Неотправленное письмо, что ли? Странная ты девчушка, я могу сказать. Ну ладно. Так, мы это осмотрели. Теперь книжечка. Старый пыльный том. Только чего?
Wonders made by man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick.
Родрик. Ну да. Ну хрэ грустить. Хрэ грустить. Ну не надо. Ну ты чего? Окно. Сейчас 100 пудов что-то произойдет. Да, Королевская гавань. Ой, забываю все. Ну ладно. Так, а, вот. Угли. И чё? А нафига они нужны? Лето же, тепленько. Ну и чё? Ну и мы на них посмотрели. Еще раз, что ли, надо посмотреть на них? Ну и? Что-то непонятно. Может, надо положить что-то туда? Ему ли может уйти? Нет. Так, подожди-ка. Водичка. Что делать-то? А, вот. Письмо еще одно.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Так, это еще кто такой? Я никого не жду, валите отсюда. Еще порву всех. Кто там? А спросить, кто там? Тебе что, никто не учил, что ли?
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you.
Ой.
I can come back later if you'd like.
Ну ладно, окей.
No, it's fine. Come in.
У меня все норм. Что тебе надо? Только у тебя голос какой-то слишком низкий для такого мальца, как ты. Ну и? Шо вы все такие грустные? Вот. Я в порядке.
I'm fine, thank you.
Of course, milady.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, my lady.
Не хочу просто разговаривать.
You work for Lady Marjorie?
Да.
I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
It's widely known that I work for Lady Marjorie.
I've seen you with her before.
Ну и?
You seem like good friends.
Ну?
I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
Удивление?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but it was definitely.
Что они говорили?
What did they say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and House Forrester.
House Forrester?
I hope you're not in any kind of trouble, but I thought you ought to know. Most people don't tend to notice a callboy, not in King's Landing with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there. Good night, my lady.
Какой доброй ночи, дорогой. Сейчас вообще день. Ты чего? О!
Lady Marjorie.
Marjorie.
You're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss.
Давай. Что нам обсудить? Текс. А ты кто такая, дорогуша?
From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen.
И?
To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She
Предателем?
was very pleased with herself.
Я не
I'm
предатель.
not a traitor.
Of course not. It's only an excuse to torment you, and by extension, me. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you.
Да не
Humor
за что.
her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Хорошо.
See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us.
Только будет ли она хотеть слишком многого от меня? Точнее, от девушки. Почему я всегда говорю от меня? Не смотри на меня так. Отвернись, вот, молодец.
You'll be fine. I know you will.
Да
You may
хорошо,
feel one thing,
да
but
все
you must
нормально
say
будет,
another.
господи.
Good luck.
Ой. Фух. Дорогуша, надеюсь, с тобой ничего такого серьезного не произойдет. О! Наконец-то мы увидели его. Тириончик, привет. А я не хочу с тобой говорить, королева. Ты мне по сериалу как-то не сильно нравишься вообще. Да тут даже толком даже никого нету. Кто вот эти вот?
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Ну? И что вы хотите? преклонить колени. Они же милорды.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl.
И что ты
Is your
хочешь от
family
меня?
loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
House Forester's loyalty to the crown never wavers, Your Grace.
I see. And yet, for centuries the Foresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
Ну, я согласен. Ну, а что ему можно?
The Starks were your liege lord, yet you name them traitors so easily.
Clearly her loyalty wavers quite a lot.
If she has any loyalty at all. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Roose Bolton also served the Starks, Your Grace.
And proved his loyalty to the crown by bringing their house to a swift and sudden end. Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
Я думаю, да. Блин, да чё ж ты недовольна?
Into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do
Да блин. Извини, тетка, но я тебе предам, да? Ты знаешь это.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms.
Ну и?
Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
Я думаю, она
I'm
об
sure
этом
she
жалеет.
regrets it.
Perhaps.
Блин.
Perhaps not.
If there's a point to
Ну
this,
блин, я не
I
хочу
hope you
никого
find it quickly.
обидеть, ну кроме этой стючки, она меня бесит.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within there?
Походу я уже рассорился.
Here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
would... Let the girl answer the question. Go on.
I would be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
Маргарет сама мне сказала потакать ей, так что я буду ей потакать.
The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Ну извиняйте, я старался, чтобы вам помочь. Все. Сейчас бошку ей отрубят, да?
I'll walk you out.
Спасибо, Тирион.
This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then, he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. to so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
Я пытался угодить.
I think that was clear to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them.
Тирион не даст, не будет рассказывать своей сестричке чё как, так что нормально, я думаю, ему можно так немножечко поверить.
The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard, not her.
I wouldn't want to anger Cersei.
And you'd be wise not to.
Вот.
But I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure Ironwood from House Forrester.
Да?
Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that?
Да.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival.
Good night, Lord Tyrion.
Just be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Спасибо, Тирион. Ты всегда помогаешь таким. Всегда советом кому-то да помогаешь.
Mira, I was worried.
Да чё, о чем ты беспокоилась? Что такое?
Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing.
Не очень.
Didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back. Here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Ай, фу, извращенки, фу. Фу, фу, неприличные разговорчики, фу.
The Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour. Which I doubt.
Ты втянешь нас в неприятности.
You'll get us in trouble.
We're just having some fun.
Ага.
Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands.
Может.
Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well. Which
Не
is
за
more than you can say
Джоффри,
for his
не.
mother.
Он еще
I'd
тот
be
козел.
willing to marry, but not Joffrey.
Well, I would marry him. Imagine the
Фу.
power you would have as queen.
Ой,
of
да
the
иди
Seven
ты
Kingdoms.
нафиг, ты обычная
I might even allow
служанка,
you
ты
to
не
be my
будешь
handmaiden.
королевой. Ага, спасибо.
Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister.
Чего?
What a perfect match.
Бриена?
Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing?
Вот именно. Что ты делаешь?
Well,
I'm
Простите.
sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
this is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira.
Да? О, четко.
I'm just glad it's over.
Ну блин, не огорчайся, я ж... Ты ж сама мне это посоветовала.
To please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Ничего подобного. Ты затащишь все.
Do you agree?
Ну, сложно всем угодить.
So easy to please. If you showed Cersei your true heart, she would stab it with a fork.
You learn very quickly.
О, это
Your words
хорошо.
to Cersei were brave, but I know you must fear what the Boltons might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Вот-вот.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Просить о помощи.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
Ну ладно.
Go on. Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow.
Угу.
What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa.
Please, Lady Marjorie, I beg of you.
У них жопа там вообще полная.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
Король обожает вас.
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Ну.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Ой, аллилуйя, да я просто супер-мега молодец. Я защитил свой дом, ое. Девчушка молодец. Ну и я чуть-чуть капелюшку. Так, ну совсем чуть-чуть так. Вот. Королевский тракт, волчий лес. Так вот, ребят, я думаю, мы сейчас прям и остановимся. Да, я думаю, мы остановимся на этом. Спокойней, спокойней. Ну и идти-то колотить. Ну ладно. Седьмое пекло. Сейчас, секунду. Помним. Короче, ребят, давайте лучше на этом остановимся, иначе мне придется продолжать. Поэтому, если тебе понравилось, дружок, подписывайся, ставь лайк, комментируй, конечно, отправляй друзьям, репост у себя ВКонтакте, мне это очень сильно поможет. Я буду тебе очень благодарен. И что я хочу сказать? Играйте только в хорошие игры, конечно. Удачи вам и пока.